2, 1, and we are live. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
How do you feel this evening, this beautiful evening or afternoon?
It's good. It's cold.
It's good. It's cold.
For me, it's just good. It's cold, but it's always cold, so I don't care.
Cold. It can be that cold, no?
The snow's just melted away, so we've had snow on the ground for the past week.
Of course, that's horrible. It was that thick,
and
at some places there was even ice.
Some places got it more than others. I think southeast, which is where I am.
So it's only -3 here right now, so that's nothing. For a Canadian, that's like summer. That's nothing. Not quite like summer, but we go to the coffee shop in shorts and T-shirts in that weather. We don't worry about it.
Colin, did you say that you are southeast?
Yeah, south east, which Norfolk actually. So,
Norfolk, okay.
Yeah, it's about as east as you can go, apart from Suffolk.
Okay, Maidstone here.
Yeah,
beautiful. And how's the weather in Canada, Adam?
The weather in Canada is -3. We got hit with a blizzard a couple days ago, but the roads are clear, and now it just looks like snow. There's a lot of it, but we don't go outside in it when there's a lot of snow anyway. It's just like when it's too hot, so it's good.
It's very good. So we can say hello to everybody. So good evening, and welcome to another Wednesday domain talk or domain show where we have our Adam Dicker and then we have Colin. Both guys have been here before, and Adam has been on all of them. Of course, we have go.la, if I'm not wrong, go.la, and Sunday says good evening. Good evening. How has been your week? How has it started?
You're gonna have to tell us who to answer in what order, so we don't talk over each other. Who's first?
No, guys, we can.
Okay.
Of course.
You go first.
As it flows.
All right, I'll go first for this one. My week's been good. It's been busy. I'm actually getting some stuff accomplished, which I appreciate, and that's good. So as far as that goes, it's good. We had a holiday Monday here last week. It was family day, and we got to spend it with the family, and I didn't have to do a whole lot of work that day, so that was nice.
Colin?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Been diving into some development, some modifications, some new ideas. Sold a couple of domain names. Yeah, it's good.
What have you sold?
I sold 2 SEO domains. The first one was chelseabun.co.uk.
Sorry, once again?
Chelsea Bun.
Chelsea Bun, okay.
It was an SEO domain. Had a DA of 39.
Okay.
Got an offer. Took it.
Was it at flip.uk? Yes.
Yep. Got an offer come through the Flip platform. It was a decent offer, so I didn't bother countering. Sold it for £400. Okay. Also, another one, k0.co.uk, which is another SEO domain.
K0, yes.
Okay. Yeah, K0.
K0.
Okay. It was got a DA of 50. Very good link profile. Sold that at auction. Put that straight on the auction. And actually sold it to Kaylin from Tool Domains.
Mm-hmm. And where do you get those domains?
Those ones I caught, actually.
So you are into domain caching as well?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, I said in one of your previous podcasts that I've given up, but decided to fire the server back up.
Okay.
And there's been some changes in. There was a particular, tag that was catching everything. that floor's maybe the floor's been closed down or something, but now it's pretty much level playing field. So I decided to give it a go, and yeah, I mean, it seems to be a level playing field now.
Oh, so as you did mention before, and Sam as well did, that UK catching UK domain names, it wasn't really a fair game, as there was one or two players who were
For whatever reason, I don't know, but
yes.
yeah,
And now it is fair again.
Yeah, it seems to be. You see people catching good domains, not just the one or two. You see a quite wide variety of people catching them. So yeah, don't know what's happened, but yeah, cool.
Very good. Adam, are you into catching domains?
Yes. Have I done any catching lately? No. And it's just really sometimes the week goes by so fast, and the days that I want to catch, I get busy, and I catch them in streaks, where for a while I'll be after them and I'll run my tools, I'll go after them and I'll look at them. Other times I'll just be too busy to pay attention. So I didn't catch any this week.
And do you catch them by using services, or have you got your own setup, your own servers?
No, sometimes I catch them with different services and then go to auction like everybody else. But a lot of the domains that I find I'm after most of the time, people have let them slip through the cracks. And I don't know if they're using different tools or wrong tools. I just think that there's a lot of stuff that I'm surprised that I pick up without any competition when I actually do use them. And for that, obviously, I use custom tools. And I sort through the large lists, and maybe it's just that what I'm looking for is not what they're looking for. I'm looking for only names that have a possibility to be something for a business where a business would want to be able to set up on it and run on it based on just that domain name. So I look for products, I look for services, and I look for names that a business could set up and run a business on that's fairly obvious.
Okay. Could you show us what are you waiting for? Could you show us one of the drop catching back orders?
I can tell you the one that I remember right now. It was like cryptomarketer.com, surprisingly. And that was a name that only I put in a bid on. I think it was on NameJet or somewhere else. And I was the only one that bid on it, and I was happy to get it. And that was the end of that story. But there's quite a few like that where I'm looking for specific services or specific things. One of the things that I do is I like to use keywords. So I will use keywords like website. I'll use like hosting. I'll use things like any different keyword. And then I'll look at all of the different variations that keyword is dropping in that specific list. So it could be crypto. It could be anything that I'm looking for that I think is big or popular, going to be popular shortly. And then I look at the list, whether it's good on the front, whether it's good on the back, and then I decide which ones I'm interested in. But I don't think that people are reviewing the drop lists as closely as they used to in the past. That's just my opinion. When I look through a list, I could find probably a big list, like of a .com list, I could find probably 10 to 40 names that I would be interested in grabbing just every day. Based on what I see, but it's through huge analysis and other things. Whereas I think other people are just looking at them and they're just looking for that $1 million name instead of the $10,000 or the $5,000 names that they can get. So it's all about it's like almost how people study in school. Everyone has a different way of studying. Who knows what's the right way? I just tend to find good ones. Like a friend of mine, we found spicedrawers.com the other day. And she picked that up. And then she picked up, I'm trying to think of, there's a type of dishes that she told me, and I forget the name of it, but I didn't know what Pyrex dishes. And I never knew what a Pyrex dish was. So I said, I'm not even sure if my wife knows. I'm going to ask her. And of course, she knew what a Pyrex dish was. So she picked up Pyrex dishes or .com. And of course, that's a great name since it's a product and it sells. She should be getting offers on spice drawers, and because people sell custom spice drawers and they sell Pyrex dishes. So those are two names.
Sorry, Adam. Is
Yeah.
Pyrex the trademark name?
No, it's
No,
not. It's
it's
like a
not.
brand. It's like no, I checked that too. It's not. It's just kind of like tissue paper or something, but it's a type of dish, but it's not a brand, which is interesting. So, and she's only looking for like I think $1,000, $1,500 for each one of those, and they're worth it. So, but those are names that we just picked up recently. So there's a lot that's out there that's still good, and if you find something that's like a product where you can set up a quick affiliate e-com store on it and sell Pyrex dishes like crazy, or if you've got something on Etsy and you're selling custom spice drawers or cool stuff like that, I don't know why people wouldn't just pick them up. But they're missing these things, and it's just I use dictionary words to find my domains. I use 1 word, 2 word, and 3 words, and then I match them up and I see what can actually. And sometimes you end up with like I don't know 4,000 or 5,000 2 words or 8,000 or 20,000 you got to look through, but it's still worthwhile looking through them because on any given day we can find one. I think maybe on another show what we'll do is we'll take the drop list for 2 days from now and analyze that and see what we actually find there that's gold and what we don't. And you'd be surprised how much is still out there. And they're not dumb names. They're names that most domainers would pay $500 or $1,000 for.
And where do you get your drop lists from?
Honestly, I just download them from whoever has them available. I download them from pool.com because it's I've been using them for years. They just have updated lists. Even Namejet has good drop lists that I've downloaded and used. So there's lots of places you can get the future dropping names.
Colin, and how do you find your names?
I use UK drop lists. Used to be a paid service, but now it's free to use. There was talk that Nominet were going to release drop lists.
Yes.
Actually, one of the biggest things that I try to teach people, and this is what separates a good domainer from a bad domainer, is knowing which domains to pick up in the drops. And I've gone through it with people I've been friends with for 5 years. And they're like, tell me some golden nuggets. Tell me something. And this is the same person. Her name's Melanie. And I go through it with her all the time. And I'm like, I can't tell you how to think. I can look at it from my perspective, but I can't tell you how to think. And she's gotten better and better at it over the years. But still, we'll go through a list of 1,000 names or 100 names each, and I'll pick out different names than she will for different reasons. And I find that with a lot of people, and that just comes from experience on knowing why I'm buying the name and what my purpose is and figuring out how many buyers there are for that potential name. So it does start. Drop lists are a very tricky and complicated thing, but if you can nail how to do them, you can make lots of money off drop lists. And it's getting those names that nobody else sees or recognizes as value that the money's in.
Colin, you mentioned that I understand that you do like SEO domains, yes? So domain names with good backlink profile, with good authority, with some history.
Yeah, they're ones that I tend to go for if I've got nothing. If I'm not going for a generic, if there's nothing that day, you might as well just put it in and try. Yeah. Anything over a DA of sort of 40, you could sell quite easily, as long as it's not been registered as an SEO domain beforehand and completely messed with,
Yes.
and then dropped again. If it's a fresh drop from an end user that's had a site on it beforehand, then yeah, it's pretty good. The links are natural and it's got value.
Okay, so Adam would go for dictionary words, and you would go for both, yes?
I would go for generics over SEO domains. It's just my preference. So yeah.
Yeah, and even there's different strategies because honestly, I don't care about stats when I'm looking for names. I care about potential buyers for the domain name, and everyone has their different ways of doing it. But I'm more interested in, can I set up an e-com site? Can I sell it as an e-com site? Can I generate leads with it for a customer? Can it be a good authority site that somebody can build? Or could it be, the most important one is, could it be a business? Like, it could be anything like piano tuners. It could be Toronto piano tuners. It could be anything, but it has to make sense. Like it can't be something like people buy names that just don't make any sense. I think I sent you an email after the last, or a pop-up on Facebook after the last interview that we did, and people were offering me domain names and asking for me to evaluate them, and I just have to be honest and say they're junk. I don't even know what you're thinking when you're buying some of these. Who are you thinking you can sell this to based on what you bought? And if that's what you are, if you're a domainer, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's got to definitely make sense. I'm that way inclined as well. I look for 1-2 word generics that you can make a business from. As I say, I generally go for the SEO domains if I've got nothing that I'm going for that day. Just because you can,
and that makes sense,
them for a couple £100, you know.
That makes sense.
So there is a question. And of course, to all the viewers, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending where you are from. Today we have two domain name industry pros, definitely professionals. Adam Dicker, Toronto, Canada, huge domain name portfolio, really well known in the domain industry. And Colin Smith, well known in the UK domain industry and the owner of and founder of flip.uk. So the question is, what type of domain at the moment are popular to sell? So what are the popular domain names or the words in domain names to be sold?
Popular right now? Well,
yes.
DeFi is very popular in crypto at the moment. Decentralized finance, it's skyrocketing. So that's hot right now. DeFi.
Yes. Sorry, what else?
It's just known as DeFi for short.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff going on in crypto. Crypto's popular also, obviously, because of the situation. Anything with setting up or selling personal safety equipment, masks, anything like that, those are still selling. Obviously, you're not trying to profit on COVID and try to sell something too COVID related, but COVID information sites are big. Masks, gloves. There's a huge run on that. Hand sanitizer, but also things that are popular right now. The same things that were always popular. Anything to do with a work-at-home business, anything to do with starting up a business at home, anything to do with any type of business that somebody can run from home, setting up franchises from home, or just setting up their own web business, selling stuff on Etsy. There's a lot of things with personal crafts and things that are also popular right now.
I've also seen that it's very trendy for cryptos to have the .io extension. I haven't bought any .ios, but seems to be a bit of a growing trend with techie, geeky crypto industries. You know,
it's definitely true. Actually, somebody sent me a portfolio of IOs yesterday to look at, and he had some two number, 2 letter, 2 character IO names, and he also had some other ones that were good, but it's all based on crypto or tech right now for IOs.
And how is he doing with IOs?
He seems to be doing well. He sent me the list yesterday, and 2 of them had sold off the list that he sent me. So he seems to be doing okay with them.
Oh. Do you guys hold some .ios as well?
No.
I may have a couple, but nothing. I mean, I think I do have a couple, but just basic ones. I couldn't even tell you which ones they were.
Okay, so cryptos. What was the last crypto domain you have sold? Actually, do you remember? Either of you?
I haven't sold any crypto related domains.
Yeah, I don't remember if I've sold any. I do have Crypto Marketer if anybody wants it, but I don't remember selling.
The asking price?
I don't know, $6,500. But I think it's a huge future in it. I think it's a great domain name, so it's obviously going to be huge.
Crypto marketers, yes. Well, that is a huge business. Whenever somebody's launching an ICO, they'll be looking for a marketer.
Yeah, there's
a professional one.
There's ICOs, there's token sites that want to do it. There's airdrop sites that always want to announce their latest airdrops. For something like that, there's nothing better.
Okay, so the cryptos are hot, but neither of you have sold any.
I've been
So
buying
what is
crypto, but not crypto domains a lot.
so what about the domains? Domains then, vaping domains are good for selling masks, hygiene.
You
Just,
say
just,
vaping?
just yes, just judging from your recent sales, from your personal recent sales, what would you say? What are the
For
trends?
me, my recent sales are all over the board, so I couldn't say it's one industry or something specific. I mean, I've got some good weed gummies and pot gummies and things like that that haven't sold yet, THC gummies and all that stuff. So eventually, I'm sure those are going to sell. Even I've got cannabis with one N instead of two N's.ca, and that probably gets more traffic than the right spelling because most people that are high can't spell. So
I made an acquisition this week in that field. I I bought dispensary.co.uk.
yeah, that's a great name. It's a great name.
Wow, who was the seller? And did you say .co.uk?
Yeah, I bought the pair .co.uk
Oh.
and .uk.
And there was a smile. Colin had this quick smile. So
No,
not
it's a
only
great
.uk.
name.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we've got a lot of CBD shops, even though.
Okay, it looks like there is an interruption. Adam, while we are waiting for Colin to come back, let me look. Oh, yes, Colin, you
Hello?
are back now.
Sorry.
Yes, no problem.
I was just saying, even though cannabis is still illegal in the UK,
Yes.
we have a big CBD industry, and generally they're known as dispensaries. So development-wise, maybe something like Weed Maps. Don't know if you've seen that before.
Yeah, Weed Maps is very popular. So in Canada, dispensaries are the place to go here. It's legal. We have dispensaries now opening up in, I don't know, every 10, 20 blocks. And it's a great name. The time to invest in names like that is now when it's illegal in your country, when nobody else is trying to buy them all up for dispensaries. So this would be a good time to get all the major cities with dispensary added to them. So not like London dispensary, but whatever you can get, because people need those names, and those are the exact names that they're going to want. So I would buy those up in the COM and in the CO in the UK and put them aside, because that's what we did here. And anything with THC, CBD, anything CBD cooking recipes. There's a lot of stuff that people bought up here. I should probably get you a list of all the cannabis names that have been taken in Canada since it's been legal. And you can look through and decide what you want in the co.uk or UK list. But it's a good example.
Colin? Bazaar says in March CBD will turn illegal in the UK.
Haven't heard that one.
Me neither. Well, CBD is a bit it is a bit broader term than people usually think of it. Yes. So, and how much did you pay for it?
Dispensary I paid just £360.
Yeah, that's a great name.
Oh, come on.
It's a great name. It's a steal. And I guarantee you would have paid a lot more if their dispensaries were legal there. That's why it's smart to jump on a name like that right now. It's the same thing with online gambling in certain countries. Was illegal in the US. Now it's becoming more legal. And it's going to become legal in Canada and the US. This is the time to be buying those names for things that aren't legal now but will be later. Just don't sell them till it is legal. Sell the domains, don't sell the products.
Colin, how do you buy it?
I had that one on my watch list for about a year and a half. And the guy that sell it is selling off his portfolio. So just made him an offer.
Bless you, Adam. Bless you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
You made him an offer he couldn't refuse, and it's a great offer for you. Great deal.
Mm.
It's those names that you sneak in under the pipe that will end up being your best names.
Mm. Other ones I bought since we talked. I bought aluminium.uk and farmhouse.uk. Farmhouse has got 860 registered businesses that use that term in their names. So it's a little gem there. And aluminium. I'm not sure if we share the same spelling, Adam.
Aluminum, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yes.
aluminum.
No, I understand different countries, different pronunciations.
Yeah.
We do share the same spelling with pretty much everything with the UK. It's the US that goes different than Canada.
Yeah, I thought that. So yeah, it's how you would spell it then, and I got the .uk of that.
.uk. Okay.
Yeah. So they're my recent acquisitions since we last spoke.
And just so you know, for confusion's sake, the hardest word to get a spelling on that matches in Canada, the UK, and the US with as many different variations as you can imagine is counselor. There's so many different ways you can spell counselor, and it means either a camp counselor, a grief counselor, or a legal counselor, like a lawyer. So there's like 8 different ways to spell counselor. To try to get I used to try to get the right spelling when I was registering, like grief counselor, divorce counselor, and all that stuff. And it was like, okay, which one do I go with for which country and which TLD? Very confusing.
Wow. Okay. Look whom we've got here. Should we
Hello,
share the
Sam.
invite link? Of course, Sam. Invite link is on the way. Farmhouse. And did you get your farmhouse? So farmhouse was .uk as well. Yes.
Yeah, I got that on a .uk. It came up, but in auction on Flips. So
Okay. Sam, please check your WhatsApp.
Yeah, I was just checking farmhouse here in Canada, and there's lots of restaurants and taverns. And yeah, it's not the farmhouse I was thinking of.
And okay, and here was another question. What about the .nets? So what is so the first question, of course, for total newbies, what is better, .com or .net or something else?
.com. That's the daddy.
It's the big daddy.
It's the big daddy of them all. It's the .com, and then also whatever's local in your country.
And what is your experience with .net domain names?
Never registered one.
I've mentioned I registered a couple, and I've sold one for $100K. That was download.net. That's the only one I ever sold, and it was a while ago. I sold it to a shareware company in Germany.
Awesome.
A good sale. Yes. So Murray says, a man with great hair says about the CBD companies.
Okay, that's interesting, Murray.
Okay. One Colin, I think that was the onlinevideos.com. Yes. Hi, Colin. You probably.
The average. Oh, I don't.
Yes. So
They-
two letter
yeah.
.uk domain.
They only come up in a blue moon. I mean, the best thing you could probably do is go to domain name history.co.uk. Fantastic stats website.
Name BIOS, another good one that'll have the stats. But again, for a 2-letter domain name, it doesn't really matter what the average price is. To buy it is different than to sell it. And to sell it, I've sold 2-letter domain names from $3,000 to $5,000 to over whatever 6-7 figures. So it really depends on the buyer's interest in how much they want the domain name and how big a company they are that they want to spend on it to brand.
While we're waiting for Sam to connect, I could show you guys.
Sam will have sold some 2letter.uk's or bought some recently.
So we are saying go invest into Greenland.
Oh, not again.
So this is a fresh. These Greenland domains they just keep dropping. So these 2-letter domain names in the .gl extension are all available for registration. Adam is look at Adam.
No, I'm not.
Adam, oh yes, but there is
Actually,
nothing wrong with that.
I looked up the official motto of Greenland so we could put it in like a slogan or something here to help promote them.
Yes, so AQAY. These are fine names. JQ. Of course, there is a magazine JQ. Well, not that I really say anything, but IV, IZ, JM, Junior, GR. I want. Oh God, I want to buy this domain, but again, in Greenland, the population is only 50,000 people.
I just looked at the population; it's very low.
Yeah, we know. And they're into cannibalism, so it gets less every month. No, they're not really, but I'm not buying anymore today.
Oh, I've
I might as well buy the country.
Okay, and Sam is coming. So Sam is coming. Awesome.
Hey,
let's
Sam.
see. Hey Sam, enjoy your dinner.
You're on mute. Unmute.
Unmute. Okay.
Well, while Sam's unmuting.
How you
there he
doing?
goes.
You
There you go.
We had a question for you before. What's the average price of a two-letter .uk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. So guys, Sam and Colin. Yes.
Hold on a minute.
2-letter .uk's. What would be the price? The average price.
Depends if it's wholesale or end user.
Yeah. End user, you can't put a lid on it. Wholesale's the only one you can put a lid on it.
Okay, let us start with wholesaler then.
So if Sam's buying it,
If I'm buying it,
Okay, wait.
if it is a .uk, what buying a .uk or .co.uk?
Okay. Oh, let us actually do check them both. Sam and Colin. A domainer comes to you and they need some cash, and they say, "Hey, I've got this gr.uk, for example, gr.uk, Junior.
You can
By the
put
way,
it there,
available in GL as well for Henrich.
gr.uk.
Yes,
What I would pay for it?
JR. Yes, JR and GR. 2.uk names. The domainer comes to domainer. JR and GR. Let us just go both ways.
They're both probably equally as bad. They don't float my boat, but I'll probably put an auction price of about, I don't know, 16, just because it's a 2-letter. 17.
So 1700. If somebody comes to you, you would.
JR.
Yes. Yeah. Let us say JR and GR, 2 domains.
Maybe a bit higher for the GR. Just because G is a little bit better than J. $2,000 for the G, 2.5. It's so hard to know because they don't come out all that often.
if anyone's selling a 2-letter for $2,000, I'll buy it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't buy any 2-letter for $2,000. It would have to, you know.
I think 2 letters really should be fetching.
They should be.
$5-6 grand.
Yeah, but they don't.
yeah, Sam and I are buyers for those, for the 2 letters, UK or COs.
I get people asking me for them all the time.
All the time, yes.
Yeah, end users.
So $2,000 if a domainer comes. So for 2,000.
If anyone wants to sell a 2-letter, any combination, just get in touch with me.
And if you want a better price, get in touch with me. Just kidding.
Yeah, but it has to be in UK, and it has to be in co-UK, because you know, I honestly can't pick them up that cheap. I think there was the time and point that I could pick them up cheap, but I can't anymore.
Okay, and if the situation was opposite, guys, and Colin, let us say you needed some cash. So you need a cash and you want to sell GR and JR. Okay. Nice, Adam. We should do that next time. Yes.
If I mean, I would only hold something that I would like.
You scared Sam away.
GR's not bad actually. You know, thinking about
Of course.
GR's not too bad. It's better than. I mean, it all depends who's your end user, how many end users, what's the demand going to be?
And now we can see Colin is selling. When he was buying, he was singing one song, and now a different guy has woken up. So G is actually good. Of course it is.
Yeah, it's not bad. So yeah, I you know, yeah.
So for the wholesale price, what would you be selling it?
If I owned GR,
Yes.
and I was selling it,
For the wholesale price to a domainer. You need some cash, and there is no way. So yeah.
I really don't know these hypothetical sales and.
Colin hopes that he will never be in that situation.
I've never owned a 2-letter, so it'd be quite novel to hold one. But
Really?
yeah.
So there's some good ones for sale for around £4,000.
Cedar?
Yeah.
Very good.
And there's fn.uk for 4,400. Actually, that's 4,400 US, which is a good deal.
Yeah.
And then there's tq.uk for $3,300 US, which is a good deal.
I mean, if you get a real good one, you know, you're looking at 100, 200,000, you know.
Yeah, so there's some good ones out there, and the best way to get these things is off of domainers, because I hate to say it, but to a domainer, $8,000 for something they paid $800 for or $1,000 for is great, and they're happy. So it's win-win no matter who buys it or who sells it, as long as they're both happy. I've picked up a lot of cheap .cas over the different sites that have them.
There you go. You've got a sale. You've got a seller.
Sam?
NX. I
NX
might buy it. No, because I don't want to. It's got an X in it. I don't want it.
Anytime, any combination of any two letters.
I changed my mind.
I don't like that guy.
I don't have a problem with an X, Jag. Email me.
There you go. Adam will take it.
Here you go, Jag. Okay. Bang.
I mean, it's 2 letters. It's a UK. It's good.
Yeah, that's the second best.
And I've sold them with all kinds of crazy letters for lots of money, so I don't give a hoot about the letters. There's some company that's going to go by NX for sure.
What's Sam? Why don't you like X? X is good, no?
That's all right. I'd prefer it to be a co-UK though.
Yeah, I'm looking for the cheapest co-UK.
That's only because it's my preference at the moment. Because inquiries on .UKs are very far-fetched at the moment. You know, they are very slim pickings.
I'm just checking the cheapest co.uk available.
Yeah, see what the prices are on the 2-letter co-UKs. I bet they're a lot different.
Yeah, they're about 10,000 GBP.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, here's one. They're about 10,000. There's one for 9,000.
Yeah.
It's a good one too. It's IE.
Used to be able to
Ireland.
Used to be able to pick up 2 letters on for trade about $1,000, $2,000, and then the prices shot up. You know, if you've got a good 2-letter, it should be going for about, 50 to 100 grand.
Yeah, that's where most of these are listed in the 30 range for really good ones. 25 to 35 in there. There's a huge amount of them.
Here you go. Adam, what was your email, just in case?
He can use adam.dicker@gmail.com.
See if he owns he might own the Co-UK as well.
We'll find out.
But it'll be 5 times as much.
Sam, you just lost a 2-letter domain name.
He didn't lose anything.
I haven't lost anything. I've got enough domains
Yeah,
to keep me busy.
Colin, how are the 2-letter domain names at flip.uk?
We have a couple listed in the marketplace. We haven't sold any through the marketplace.
What are they listed at? You know?
And the prices? Can you share your screen? Could you show us?
Well, I haven't got it loaded up, but
you can open a clean
I think
clean window and.
I mean, I think there's only 2 there since I last looked. I'll have to hunt for it because we don't have a. One of the things we're introducing is the character length search, which is a bit overdue. But
Colin, yes, just start sharing the screen. I'll show you. I will show your screen. We can always advertise whatever we want to, and that is your baby. That is
but
a
just
great platform.
make sure he closes down all the windows he doesn't want people to see.
Yeah, the tube ones.
Let me have a little look. So, share.
Of course. Then we'll see how to find it as well. Bang, bang, bang.
I think that's.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good. Okay.
Well, as I say, the character search is going to be implemented soon, so I could just literally say, right, find me all the 2 character domains,
Yes.
but we don't have that. So, trying to remember.
Oh, so you have over 1,000 triple L's.
Yeah, I think most of those are Sam's.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah, it'd be good if I actually got any leads on them.
Do you get any inquiries, Sam, at Flip?
I do get inquiries for some, but they're very, they're very infrequent. So compared to my Co-UK 3 letters,
Yes.
I get a lot more inquiries because the end user doesn't really understand the .uk unless they're a new tech company and they want just the .uk. This is what's happening now. Is there's companies starting up and they're going, oh, I don't want to pay, because obviously someone else owns the Co-UK and they've inquired and they say, oh, he wants a certain amount, so they come to the .uk and then they're trying to get it for like cheap. So sometimes I might sell it off a 3-letter.uk cheap, because if I know they're selling the 3-letter Co-UK, I'll just sell it off because I've got so many of them. I've sold a few to big charities and stuff like that, but you know what I mean. You've got to work. You've got to think to yourself: if you don't sell a few of them, you're gonna be holding these forever. You know what I mean? It's I think I sold one to a charity that was helping women that were in bad situations. So I gave it. I literally was going to give the domain to them, but they literally were offering money. But I didn't really even negotiate. I said, look, I understand the charity and I really want to support it. So I literally sort of pretty much gave it to them. So I will help out companies or charities. I know they've got money, but if it's something that I support, I'll help out where I can. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Like you don't need to make ridiculous money on each sale, you know. But if it's a charity that you actually support or you've heard of,
I should create
like
a charity that supports cobras.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah, a charity that
I want this, and I would
Cobra.
really, it would really benefit from Cobra.co.uk.
Or something for the people that have something for the people who have the .uk domains, but not the .co.uk, or something for people that live in your country that are named Helmuts.
Adam, and how? What are your thoughts when you hear the British guys are talking about their LL markets
I think it's
compared to Canada?
I think it's good. It just opens my mind up. I'm kind of jealous that I only have one CCTLD to get all the 2 letters on, and they have the co.uk and the UK. So, no, I think the opportunity is great, and I think that I mean, like, I think it was Colin who said it'd be nice to have a 2-letter .co or a .co.uk. I mean, it's one of those things that, I don't know, it's kind of like owning a really nice car. It's like, wow, I have this and I'm just happy I have it and I don't need to show it off, but it's nice to have and build your brand or whatever it is on it and then eventually sell it for whatever the market dictates. But I think it's great that they have these options.
Okay, so we have learned all of Colin's acquisitions and sales. Really, really good job, Colin. Adam, what about you? Any business?
I'm sure I've done some acquisitions this week. I don't remember exactly what, but and that doesn't help much for a show. But I've had a few acquisitions this week, but nothing major that would need to announce. But all good. Busy week, but can't really put my finger on what the hell I did.
So, what was the last domain you have bought?
Oh, it would have been a 2-letter something or other from a different country other than Greenland. Although I did post in the chat, we should start with the Greenland national anthem from now on if all we're going to talk about is GLs. No,
names.
I'm trying to think. I've bought some other short ones. I'll have a better answer for you next week because I'm going to go back and look at the drops this week.
Okay, thank you. Sam, what about you?
What have I been doing? Not much. Just developing some of my names. I acquired the domain hippie.co.uk.
Hippie.
Isn't that ironic since you don't have long hair?
I or Y?
Yeah.
Is it end in IE or
yeah,
Y?
It's H. Yeah, HIPPIE.
Okay.
There's a lot of companies that brand under like hippie store and hippie clothing and hippie this and hippie that. So that's either going to be one that I'm going to hold on to or develop into.
You
some
should partner
hippie.
that with Colin's. You should partner that with Colin's domain dispensary.
yeah, where you get your drugs.
Exactly.
Come to the hippie.
I don't think you were here. He picked up.
That's not a good
I don't
tagline.
know because it can be brand. It could be used for anything.
Sam, I don't think you were here when he mentioned he picked up dispensary dot UK.
.co.uk and .uk.
Yeah.
Yes. Sam,
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Was that cheap or
Colin, was it cheap?
It was.
was that cheap or?
Yeah, I picked that for $360. The pair.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's not bad. Yeah,
Potential.
not bad. Yeah.
So we have dispensary, we have hippie. Awesome. And Sam, have you sold anything?
Have I sold anything? Not at the moment. No, I'm getting a lot of inquiries. I'm actually getting more people contacting me trying to acquire top premium co-UK names. So they're big companies reaching out, and they've got budgets to buy certain domains, but they're owned by I can't really say it. But they're owned by other people, and they don't want to buy them off other people because they want me to sort of be in the middle. But I've done that. I've done that for a long time. Where I acquire domains on behalf of companies, and work in the middle. But it's happening a lot more this year. They're contacting me and they say, "Oh, we've worked in the past and we really want this name," but they're still unrealistic with valuations. They're like saying, "Oh, we've got a £5,000 budget on a name." Okay, I can't say the name, but it's on a name something like gold.co.uk, which isn't for sale anyway. And I said, and you have to explain to them, you're never going to get a domain that strong for a £5,000 budget. And they're like, and when you tell them, what sort of budget you're talking about, they sort of go, "Oh, right, okay, we'll have to go back to the board."
They're missing 2 zeros, aren't they?
Yeah, you're missing out. It's.
And if they have a board, then they should understand that usually marketing and branding is almost 8 to 10% of your business. So maybe you should look at your revenue and decide. It's almost like they say when you're buying an engagement ring for your future wife, it should be 3 months' salary. When you're buying something for your company for marketing or branding, 8% of your budget goes towards marketing and branding. So keep in line with that, and they'll have no problem getting their domains.
Yes.
By the way, I caught brandmarketing.uk the other day.
No.
So that's quite topical.
Fitting.
Wow.
I need to turn the drop catching script on again then, because I heard that the cheats and the multi-taggers and the you name it have been. I'm not doing it anymore because Nomut's obviously changed everything. But
well, yeah, I mean, we were talking about it earlier. It's obviously changed because it's more level playing field now. So we don't know.
Yeah, because I never really, I never even bothered looking at the drops these days because it's just you never had a chance to catch. And
then looking at what we bought this week, it goes to show you can be a busy domainer and not buy a lot in a week. You're too busy either selling or organizing or doing something. Because the three of us didn't really buy a whole lot or this week. You concentrate on selling, you can't do everything.
No, because like there'll be some days where I've gone out and I bought 150 domains, and I'm like, I can't even remember all the names that I've registered, and I'm like, and then I get inquiry, and I'm like, when did I register that? And I'm like, oh right, oh yeah, I've still got it, and you get a really good offer. So
wow.
It's weird. It's weird. Every week's different.
And if the government ever checks my phone to see who I send the most text messages to, they're going to see I send them as note to self to remind myself to look up and see if something's available or if I should buy something or go check out when I'm at the computer. If I'm watching TV and I see some new news topic, I send it to myself. So I always use my phone to message myself reminders or take screenshots of what I should go register if I'm not in front of a computer. Otherwise, I'll forget. You can't remember everything.
No.
What's the last one on your screenshots?
I can look it up. It would have been something that I told myself, and I probably haven't registered it yet, so giving this away is not great, but let's see what it is. Note to self.
Do you do the same?
Oh, okay, so there's a whole show. I'll give it to you anyway. I'll have to get it later, but there's a whole show on how a lot of the hospitals in the U.S., a good chunk of them, almost half, this is on like a news show, don't have rape kits at the hospitals. So they don't have kits for women who go in who've been raped to actually do a kit to capture the DNA. And to me, that was ridiculous. Ridiculous. They have to send them an hour or 2 hours away to go to a different hospital. That's ridiculous.
Wow. Okay.
So that was the last thing I sent myself, was to see about what we could do to help get them to hospitals or whatever we could do to make them available. And it goes back to Sam's point. It's a cause I believe in, that first of all, obviously rape is a disgusting crime, but women should be able to get a rape kit from anywhere. They were getting them from police officers instead of from hospitals because the hospitals didn't have them. And I thought that was very odd.
And that's Canada.
No, it's the U.S.
Oh,
It's the
that's
US.
US. Oh,
Yeah.
that's US. Okay. US. Is
It may not be different anywhere else. I don't know. But should be a priority. Women should be protected.
No jokes about this topic, although.
None.
Yes. Colin.
Okay. You're going to have to ask another question. I made it too serious all of a sudden.
Colin, you are saying you are developing your flip.uk.
Yes.
So what are the new things you are working on?
Okay. We've had some subtle modifications to the front end. There's now people were having problems seeing what was new in the auction list, because I think at the moment there's about 170 auctions running. So if they're 24 hours or newer, they'll have a little new tag next to the domain. That just helps if they're flicking through. There's going to be a new dashboard welcome screen in the back end, which will be more user-friendly. It will be more statistical. Just in-your-face stats, any notifications and things like that. So that's on my dev server at the moment. Have that finished and should be 5-6 weeks away from getting that implemented. Looking at a new auction type as well, which is very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So instead of the new forward auction where you set your time and it gets down to 0 and then the highest bidder wins. Looking at, I forget the name of the site that does it at the moment. They brand it as a liquidator. So you submit your domain name. This is for argument's sake. It starts at £1,000.
Okay.
And it's got 7 or 10 days. Every hour, the price drops until it gets to the final price, £10. So it's continually dropping throughout the 10 days. And if there's, several parties after that domain, it's whoever is prepared to pay the highest price and not lose it before it drops, that kind of thing. So that's quite interesting. So just looking at different ways of just doing something different.
Exactly. These are called Dutch auctions.
Okay.
So just to prove we're live, I got my message already from Jag, but the two-letter.uk.
Okay. Is that a deal?
He just said it. Yeah, I don't know yet. We're gonna talk and see. I told him I'm still live and recording. I'll get back to you, which is obviously true.
Good to see a live transaction.
I mean, it sounds like a good deal to me. So let's see.
Are you taking it?
I'd say probably.
Probably. What is the best way, Adam? Actually, the smart way or quick, easy way to get a Canadian domain name. So let us say there is one domain name and I want to buy it, and it is a Canadian domain name.
So you have to have either a Canadian presence or a company in Canada that's incorporated to be able to put it under. That's really the only way. You can buy it and register it, but if somebody ever reports you, then you'll lose it if it's not owned by a Canadian or under a Canadian company. They can take it away from you.
So the smart way would be actually to create a Canadian company.
Yeah, so I'll give you an example. There's a guy who I've been chasing for a little while now who owns vitamins.ca. He's in New York.
Yes.
He may be a Canadian who moved there, and we've been negotiating for a while. But somebody who you found that was or had a name that you wanted, like sam.ca, for example. If they lived in the U.S. and they were a U.S. citizen without a company, you could report them and they'd have it taken away and it would go to drops. So not a good way to not a very polite way of dealing with things. Better to negotiate and help them protect themselves and tell them what they need to do to protect their names.
Colin, Sam, do you own some Irish names as well?
No.
I do.
Do you, Adam?
I do. Irish eyes are smiling. I do.
Oh, that. Yes. And what are the Irish names you own?
I've got some 2-letter IEs.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes. That was actually one of the first ones that I was targeting originally.
Yes.
A country that is well versed on the internet, that is growing in internet usage and population. Those are the ones to target.
Oh, now I see why I can't get any Irish 2 letters.
Yes.
I keep following that market as well.
Yeah, I've followed it for a while, and then there was a time where a bunch of them dropped. There was like, I don't know, 30 or 40 of them, and I paid attention. But you scramble when you see something like that in a country you're not used to. You got to figure out, where do you backorder these things? Where do you get them? It's like for anything. Like last night I was watching a movie, and it was about Luxembourg, and I happened to see the domain name in the background. I said, hey, wait a minute, I just saw a Luxembourg domain name.
LU, yes.
Yeah, my wife doesn't see that. Only I see that because I'm into domains. I notice everything. So of course, then I want to get on the computer and see what's available in LU and take a look around and all that cool stuff. But it's how we view the world differently. So I love IEs. I think they're great.
Any nice extensions, Sam, Colin, that you like? Apart from .co.uk.
Maybe
.com?
just yeah, .com and .io really.
What does it stand for? Nothing. It stands for money. Sorry, Colin. Yes.
.com obviously, but I think there's a lot to be said about .io. As I said before, may look into that. I only own one .com. Yeah, I might invest in some .ios.
So only one .com. Which one?
It's one I registered ages ago, and I just like the name. It's socketmesh.com. It just goes with, it's a bit techie.
Okay, Socket Mesh.
Reg fee. Just kidding. It's amazing how you guys don't tend to come on this side of the pond, and most North American domainers don't tend to go on that side of the pond. So like there's an invisible barrier, but there isn't. It's the same thing though. Most North American domainers are not going on the other side, and vice versa. Maybe it's because they have to incorporate. Maybe it's because they have to spend money. I don't know why. Maybe they just don't understand it or think it has value, but they're wrong.
There's a few Canadians that invest in UK domains.
Yeah, but a few. Only a few.
Only
They're the
a
smart
few,
ones.
Yeah.
Well, and don't forget, Canada and the UK are tied together. So,
And if any Canadian or American investors want to come in and to grab the best LLL.co.uk domain portfolio, Sam is the man, yes?
Yes, 3 letters, yeah. If anyone's got any, like single letter KUKs, let me know.
hey, I just saw a single letter for sale that came through. It was through a weird country. I'll pull it up while you guys are talking, but I got a back order request for a singular letter, and I was like, I don't know who's going to get this, but it's interesting.
There's a guy on Acorn that specializes in really short domain names, isn't there? I forget his username now.
It's in weird extensions.
Yeah, so yeah.
His name is Jan. Yes, Jan, Polish guy.
Okay.
Yes, he's the guy I got the software from.
So you're using his software.
Of
now
course.
we know.
I'm just looking for that. Here it is.
He did put it up for sale. Probably he needed to raise some cash.
Okay, so I don't know if
And then
anybody's.
he removed it and he said, "That's it. I've sold a few. That's enough."
I don't know if anybody's interested in this, but that's what it is. X.nom.co is expiring.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's not for me. Maybe for one of you guys. It expires March 18th.
Okay, that's it.
There, we share.
And what is the extension? It is not Colombian, no. It is
It could be Colombian.
Co is Colombia.
Yeah, it's got to
I
be
think.
Colombian. I just don't know
yes,
what.
but there is no such an extension. Nom.co, no, shouldn't be.
I don't know. I got a back order alert, and I can back order it. So it came
Yes.
from Hexanet.
Okay, Andre is asking, hello. In a case when I do register .com domain name and the rest of TLDs are available, should I register any other TLDs or .com can be more valuable in the eyes of potential buyers?
Andre, what country are you in? That would be the deciding factor.
Let us say somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, crypto for sure. You should get the IO if it's available and it's a good domain name. But if you're in Europe, I would also get your home extension if you think it's a good domain name. Start to own your own country, as I like to call it. Make sure that when everybody knows, like they want to get a co.uk, they want to go to the Sam or they want to go to Colin, you need to know that in Canada there's only 3 people that have most of the CAs. There you go.
So Andre is from Ukraine. Okay. A country that is famous, nothing against Ukraine. I have Ukrainian friends, but there was a case when a judge passed, some local judge passed a law or something, instruction to police to arrest Google services or something like that, Andre, if I'm correct.
Ukraine, I just checked. It's UA as the CCTLD.
Yes. Well, they've got .com.ua, and .ua is a newer one, if I'm correct, and it is available only for Ukrainian businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the market I would personally avoid as an investor, as anybody could take you to the court, give some cash on the side, and the judge would make a decision. Just to be honest, I would definitely not keep my money in there.
I would put some in just for fun. If he wants to buy a couple and he lives in the UK, I'd do it with him just for fun. So that's an opportunity. He can own them and I'll just invest in them. And if they sell, they sell. Why not?
Okay, very good. So, Adam, if you could repeat your offer that Andre could understand.
Oh, Andre, if we can find .ua 2-letter domain names, I'd be open to buying them. And since you live there, you could own them. So we'd be partners on them. And if they sell, we just split the money on them.
Here you go. And actually, for HostMaria, our systems administrator, the man who manages dedicated servers and VPS, he's a black belt system admin, and he's from Ukraine.
I have quite a few friends here that are from the Ukraine as well, and they
smart guys.
They were happy to live there and happy to leave. Both.
Okay, as you know, the whole world is heading these days to focus on sustainable development and energy. So, how do you view domain names in this direction? Sam, let us start with you.
So what's it saying? You know,
and then maybe we can go like maybe 10 more minutes and that's it, yeah?
Yeah, obviously domain names are, at this precise time, they are better than brick and mortar. And
okay.
More people are wanting to go online because of the situation in the world. and I can just see the future of domains value especially going up, and there's lots of big sales happening left, right, and center. So personally, domain names have never been so popular. It's like going back to 2003 when the era when loads of people were dropping .coms, and then Frank Schilling picked up tons of .coms. So at the moment, I think so many people are wanting to get into domains and development, and I've heard from so many random people contacting me on LinkedIn going, I want to develop this domain, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I can't answer all the questions because obviously I can't get any work done, you know what I mean? And these are all new people that have lost their jobs and and worked in retail maybe all their life. So it's a good thing for our industry, the domain industry.
So
But,
what I would say is, as far as energy domains go,
Yes.
whether it would be either .energy or not, I'm not such a believer in .energy unless you get something that's involving solar, wind, or green. So if you get like green energy, solar energy, wind power, wind, whatever, anything related to those domains and those things are really good. I don't think you'd. I mean, I know the guy who owns globalwarming.com. He's a good friend of mine. He bought it about 2007, I think. So those domains will always have value, but it's a hard domain to sell, something like globalwarming.com. But energy domains, wind turbine stuff, wind energy, solar energy, it's huge. There's solar paneling, wind, all kinds of stuff, wind turbines, stuff like that will do well. But I'm not saying, unless you get a generic, investing in a .energy wouldn't be great. But energy domains are good.
Colin?
Yeah, I think because of the COVID thing, people are looking at opportunities, and that's going to be online. So yeah, it's only a good thing for, well, not COVID specifically, but online commerce is definitely a good thing for the domain industry. It probably pushes the price up somewhat, as everyone comes along and they think of an idea and they want the best domain. So,
But talking about energy, do you guys follow up the trend that is approaching of shooting something in the air or putting something high up, and that gathers pollution and all that other bad stuff?
You talking about carbon footprints?
Something like that as well, but there are several approaches and it becomes like a hot project, and some big investors start looking into it, and there are some very brave projects coming up. But this industry seems to be approaching, and many say that, well, electric car was a future a while ago. Now it is reality. Now the next big thing will be reduction of pollution and carbon footprint and all that other stuff.
So they figured out how to do that already. They just keep everybody in lockdown and it cuts down on the pollution.
Here you go. Simple things work. But have you heard anything of that? Are you following that?
Nope.
Colin, Sam, neither?
nope.
no.
No. Maybe I need to get in a guest. I know there is this one scientist. She's into it. Maybe. Why not? That would be interesting. Okay, guys. It seems that everybody's in something. Any specific things you are still trying to search? Are you chasing some good deals or specific markets? What can you share?
Same as ever, really. I don't look for anything trend-wise. I just look for what I think would make a great business online, and try and acquire it really when it comes up. Domains that I like, Yeah, that's all I've got to say really is if I like it and it passes a few tests that I have, and the demand's going to be there, then I try and acquire it.
Okay, Sam.
Just acquiring all the niches that I've done well in, that I've sold in the past, and obviously always looking for deals. So if anyone's got a single letter, no, not single letter, if anyone's got a one word co.uk for sale, for cheap, let me know.
The last one, Sam, was cleaning supplies. The guy was buying all the cleaning supplies.
And it hasn't got an X in it.
Yeah, I'll buy a lot of things, even if it's a 2 words, as long as it's good. But these days, I don't go out and spend huge amounts of money on new domains because I've got too many as it is. You've got to sell the names that you've got, because I'm overload. When you're overloading, I just don't want to really. I want to trim my portfolio down, not up, because it's just uncontrollable with the amount of renewals emails I'm getting on a daily basis.
Okay, here was a question that didn't come through, and let me put it up just here. Mazona is asking, and what do you think of these names? ZeroCarbonCar.com, eggforsale.com, electricjetfly.com. Adam? Let us start with Adam, then Colin, then Sam.
So I like the way Zero Carbon Car sounds. I'm not sure. It's kind of like here we have zero emission testing for cars. So it's a little bit like that. EC for sale, electric car for sale, I guess. It sounds like, EC for sale sounds like one car, electric car for sale. So I get a little nervous about that unless you just want to sell one and get rid of the domain name. I'm going to have to say that I wouldn't really think that any of the 3 of them have a lot of value.
Thank you. Colin?
I think the best one of those 3 is probably Zero Carbon Car. It sounds good. It could make say a compare website. I think to add value to these, you'd have to build a site on them. And but I think Zero Carbon Car could be a comparative website.
Okay. Would you keep all these 3 names?
Personally,
yes.
No, I wouldn't. But that's just me. I'm not big into .coms. It's a whole new world which I don't understand a lot of the time. Personally, I wouldn't. But that's probably not the right answer.
Sam?
That's just me.
Yeah. Thank you. Sam?
No, I don't really like them, to be honest. No, I don't really like any of them. But that's my point, and I don't think I would have registered them either.
Okay, very good. So thank you, and then maybe for the last things, maybe each of you could say one thing to the new, fresh domainers. Let us start with Colin, then Sam, then Adam, please. Colin.
Always buy what you like.
Always buy what you like. Well, that is a bit dangerous, no?
You got to be strict. If you like it, buy it. Well, if you like it, buy it. But don't like it if you buy it. Don't go and register everything you like. I'm not saying that. Be very specific, but you've got to really like it.
Okay, you've got to really like it. That's good. Thank you. Sam?
Yeah, like don't buy too many domain names, and try and
Yes, of
develop
course.
one. Try and develop one of your domains.
And meanwhile, how many or much domain names have you got, Sam?
What developed?
Not developed, no. What is,
How many
how
have I
large is
got?
your, yes, portfolio? The
Just
size
under
of your portfolio.
15,000 now.
So do not buy 15,000 domain names.
No.
Or you'll be
No.
happy like Sam.
Yeah, just buy a few.
Okay, Adam, thank you, Sam.
So I may not get my flippin.ca after this, but never buy anything you like. Only buy something that has value that you can resell. Take emotion out of it. You're running a business. Don't fall in love with something. I did this at the beginning. I bought too many domains that I thought were valuable, but I had no reason for a business to buy it. So if you can't think what a business would run on that domain, don't buy it. But I still love Colin.
Thank you. Thank you very much, all. And maybe see you next Wednesday. Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good night, all.